is it going? Do you know what? I forgot to add this here. This is gonna maybe be a bit loud, so word of warning. It's about to land now. Let's put that down a bit. That background music, I like it. Okay, we're good to go. So, how are we doing today? I am not late. I am fashionably on time. That's how I like to keep it, and that's how we're going. So, how has everyone been? The Game Pass cut is not enough because they've actually increased the price. Hey, look, man, it's growing back. I'm losing that DLSS filter. What can I say? Is it too loud still? Are you sure? Because I did reduce it. You might be getting enough. Oh, shit. It was loud. Why was it so loud? My bad. I ain't shaving no more. That's it. I'm doing good, gaming. I am doing good. How are you? How are we doing today? Alright, so listen to what I'm going to say, right? And then we can maybe have this discussion. Because this is clearly going to be the main topic of thing. I did actually have a video that I made today, right? It was a great video. And I forgot to hit publish. So I'm going to blame YouTube for this one because it's clearly YouTube's fault, not mine. YouTube, if I didn't press publish, YouTube should have done that for me. So clearly this isn't a user error. This is clearly a YouTube error, and I'm totally blaming them for this. But I've got another video that I recorded after, which is it's part of the topic I'm covering here, but I go into it in more targeted for the Game Pass drop and my thoughts. So that will be out after this video, after this stream. And then that video will be out after that, probably around 6 p.m. tomorrow, UK time. But in the meantime, I need to find that tweet that I so expertly lost. Alright, so here we go. So the question was, why is it not so great news? Okay, number one, right? Number one, it creates a precedent. Any super game that comes out is now subject to change, subject to not be on Game Pass day one. Elder Scrolls 6 is the next super game. Is that going to not be on Game Pass? No one now can say yes or no because Call of Duty has set a precedent. However, the biggest problem that I have is the pricing. See, they've reduced the cost of Game Pass by $7, or I think it's about £5 in the UK. But the original price of Game Pass in the UK was $14.99. Then they added Call of Duty and bumped it up to $22.99. Then they took off Call of Duty and have put it down to $16.99. Essentially, we've just now got a £2 price increase without getting any benefit. I don't give a shit about Fortnite Crew. That doesn't benefit me at all, and nor does the Ubisoft Classics. I just don't use it. So, for me, the service has now gained a £2 price increase from what it was, which has now reverted to what it used to be, and I've got no value in return. So that's the point that's not great. But otherwise, a price decrease in this day and age is kind of cool. But I think they should have went back to what the pricing was originally. $20.99 in the US, $14.99 in the UK. I erred? What did I err on? Hey, since it's starting to happen, right? Like, I was making my video and I had it all set up, talking about Jason Ronald. And I'd done everything, edited everything, it was all ready. And I thought I hit publish, and then I got a message from uh, Brandon, and he said, "Hey, look at this." And it was like 45 minutes ago. And I was like, man, I literally was in the middle of doing this, and there's already news from Asher Sharma for this. And I'm like, okay, I'll release that at 1 a.m. Well, looks like I'm going to have to do the complete opposite now and release the Jason Ronald stuff tomorrow. I'm not glazing the removal. I think it was a bad move, but I do think it was expected. Transplant from Turkey? No. God, I haven't beat the Turkey donkeys. Elder Scrolls 6 is a game you'd purchase anyway. It's like saying, oh man, if they don't put GTA 6... nah, not for me. I don't even know if I'm going to buy GTA 6. Right? The only reason that I would even consider honestly buying GTA 6 is if people wanted me to actually stream it while, for whatever reason. That's it. I've never been interested in GTA. I think I played GTA 5 for the best part of 40 minutes one evening on GTA Online when my friend wanted me to join him, and that was it. There are some people that just don't care about these games, and I'm one of them. I still haven't played Skyrim. No interest. The price drop is good. I think it should have been better though. I think the price drop should have gone to what it used to be, because they've, you know, it's like Steve said, one of the biggest benefits of Game Pass was COD, right? It's a massive, how did he put it over here? Value propositions. Because I want to keep that thing. He said it's a value proposition. Call of Duty is like a selling factor, right? On Game Pass day one, they've removed one of the biggest value propositions of it, and they still kept a price increase overall, and I think that's cheeky. Do you know what, Gorsty? Thomas the Tank Engine does make everything better. I might just give it a chance with Thomas in there. Look, I'm still saying Asher Sharma is doing stuff and moving things around, and despite the fact that COD came off, I'm still saying she's doing more for Xbox than not. She's working on ways to make Game Pass more attractive, more, you know... What are you doing with Luna? Oh, she's just trying to chew you up. Okay. You know, she's doing stuff for the consoles, the Game Pass service, you know... Stuff is happening in the Xbox universe. What is the US price now? The US price right now is $22.99. It used to be $29.99. Now, when you think about it, she's reduced it by $70, by $7, right? If you multiply that by 12, you're looking at $84. So she's basically, if you're a year-long subscriber, she's reduced it by the price that it would cost you to buy Call of Duty, that, you know, if you were to purchase it, spread across 12 months. That's what it's been reduced from. Hey, E-Ranks. That was a question that I actually posted on Twitter to Asher Sharma as well. Let's say people who stacked Game Pass at the $29.99 price point, right? And they stacked it for 3 years. With the price drop that is now, will they be reimbursed? Are people going to get refunded some money? Because now, those that did upgrade for 12 months they should be due a refund, right? Because the service doesn't cost the same. What about those people? Exactly, Susanna. Now, the increase from original, the increase of Game Pass from previous to the $29.99 was Call of Duty. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to deny this. They added Fortnite Crew and that stuff to camouflage it because legally they're not allowed to increase the price for Call of Duty. They're just not. And because of what they promised to the FTC and the court, right? The FTC, the court ruling, they said that they won't be increasing the Game Pass price because of COD. So they had to put something else in place in order to camouflage that price increase, to hide it. Hey, Rabbi. I mean, that's what I'm hoping will happen, Steve. That would make more sense. Hey, seriousness. I stacked up with $16 to $22 keys anyway. No, that's fine for those. I'm saying, what about for the people that didn't? I'm replaying Skyrim 2, but it's not holding my attention like GTA 4 is. No, that's not correct, Bullets, because they can easily just say by maintaining it in Call of Duty, they've noticed that they've lost all that money. They've already got records to show that they lost 300 million or more, whatever whatever that was. And they can just say if you're looking at the stats of what's Game Pass sales and stuff like that, you can clearly see that Game Pass is stagnated. It's not going up, and the $29.99 price increase just wasn't doing it. So we've had to make the decision. I know it's come at an awkward time, but we're going to remove Game Pass from there because it's just not working financially. But at the same time, we're also giving the players a much-needed discount on Game Pass, so they also get a better deal. That is how they're going to. If anyone comes after them, they're going to play in that form or another. They've got the numbers to back it up. They've got the data to back that up as well. So, yes, it's blatantly obvious that they're reducing the cost for Game Pass, for Call of Duty, but they've got the data to walk around that. So, it is what it is. What's happening in April, Rabbi? I'm good, Rabbi. How are you? If they take, I mean, that's a silly question, right, Jerry? There's loads of games that are coming on Xbox day one, like Forza Horizon 6, Halo Campaign Evolved. There's loads, right? There's loads of games still coming. You got Fable, you got Gears. Those are going to be day one. I don't even care for Call of Duty. So, like, in the realistic terms, it didn't make any difference to me. I just wanted the price to go back to the way it was before they increased the price. Remove Fortnite? They can't remove Fortnite, like I was telling Steve on Twitter. They probably have a contract in place for Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Classics, so that's probably not coming off for a long time. I think it was the wrong move. I agree, Steve. I agree. I think it was the wrong move. What I think they should have, I mean, like I said, I think they should have done is made it a bolt on service. You know, remove Fortnite Crew, make it available as a bolt-on. What is it? They could have just added different tiers, but they should have left it there. Ultimate should always include everything. They could have given that $22.99 as an option without COD, but if you wanted it with COD, then you get it for $29.99. Leave it like that. So those people that want everything will pay for the highest tier and get everything without concern. And remove a couple. If Killcat, the way I see it, the more if they start removing it, if it stops at Call of Duty, fine. I mean, it sucks, but fine. The problem is I don't see it stopping at Call of Duty. There's going to be another big game that they're relying on that's supposed to sell millions, and that's going to, you know, have that same problem. Rabbi, I'm doing well. How are you? I did respond, Rabbi. See, Jared, it depends what you're getting out of Game Pass. Game Pass, a subscription service isn't for everyone, right? And Game Pass won't be for everyone. That's just the thing. It's not going to be for everyone. If you don't find the value of it, and if you're not getting value from it, or if you're only subscribing to Game Pass for Call of Duty, you're better off just buying the game and not subscribing, right? You're better off just subscribing to the lower tier. But Susanna, the question now, right, is, you know, everyone is now attacking Puerto Rock for this question. So taking COD off to make Game Pass cheaper was true. The question now is what other games can be treated the same as COD? Maybe the next Elder Scrolls might be exempt from day one as well. And there could be, you know, we're looking at other big games as well in the franchise series. But the point being made here is, back in the day when Xbox first ported the 4 games, people were asking, well, hey, look, that game's on Xbox. Is it coming to PS5? Is it coming to PS5? Is it coming to PS5? Now the question is going to be, is it going to be on Game Pass? Is it going to be removed from Game Pass? And I think Microsoft inadvertently have opened themselves up a can of worms that is ultimately going to backfire. I think removing COD was just a bad move, PR-wise. I mean, obviously it's maybe. No one knows. That's the point. That's the point that's being made here. They'll replace that one with, I don't know, some random indie game. Don't worry, Steve. They'll get your 75 games. What's up, Rebby? I mean, GeForce is #1 right now, but you have to own your games with that. You mean GeForce Now? But you know, you've got like the PC version of Game Pass, right? So I'm just going to go to the pricing for Game Pass right now, so you guys can see what the new prices are. This is for the UK, by the way. But here's the pricing, right? Essential is now $6.99 a month. I think that's gone down from $7.99. Premium has gone down to $10.99 a month. This was the original console Game Pass price without Xbox Live. Now Premium is $10.99, which is an insane value, right? Even if it doesn't have day one games, that's crazy. Game Pass Ultimate is now $16.99 instead of $22.99, which is a massive decrease. Just no COD. And you can see new games day one including new Xbox published games with a caveat of a number 2. Where does that go to? Caveat excludes Call of Duty titles. That's it. So they're making that perfectly clear. But the PC plan is $10.99 a month. Dude, that is insane value for PC. That's crazy value. Obviously, PC doesn't get the cloud, I don't think, and whatnot. But man, that's crazy value. Steam has sales so cheap, there's no point in streaming on your PC. I stream on my PC if I want to get path tracing and stuff like that. Like, I'll be playing Pragmata through GeForce Now, which is powered by a 5080, so I'll be getting, like, you know, all the bells and whistles. It's worth it for me, because my graphics card can't do path tracing. And believe me, path tracing looks really nice. Really, really nice. I'm really hoping the next gen consoles really utilize path tracing. It is a big deal. Did you say someone is making a Karen simulator? That's not hard. Just watch TikTok. But also it just saves you the install space, right? You don't have to constantly download and install. So in a way, if Fallout 5 is coming, it does not necessarily will be on Game Pass, right? That's correct. We don't know if Fallout 5 is going to be day one on Game Pass. Can I live stream Metro 2039? When is that even out? I'll probably live stream that one. You lose it, but you don't lose your games. The games are still are available on the launchers. I'm looking forward to 2039, Rabbi. So that's a game I've got on my playlist. I'm also looking to play Darwin's Paradox. I don't know if anyone's played that. If it's any good. Essential is just Xbox Live, man. That's it. Essential is there just to give you Xbox Live. But if you want more, and they've made the price between Essential and Premium really close to entice you to go to the next level. Pretty much, Malcolm. Wait, so 2039 is already out? I've played a couple of them. I haven't completed them. I didn't realize Metro 2039 was out already. Is it really out? Rabbi, the game isn't out yet. Are you trolling me? It's not already out. What are you talking about? The game comes out end of this year. Are you talking about the Game Pass price decrease or Metro? If you're talking about the Game Pass price decrease, that video is coming out later tonight. I'm so confused right now. Oh, the reveal showcase. We already covered that. We covered that last stream. Or was it the stream before that? That's the thing, Vital. If it's just COD, then I think it'll stop there. I just don't see it only remaining as Call of Duty. And that's the concern. That once you open Pandora's box, it's difficult to close. And that's exactly what they've done here. They've opened Pandora's box. So it's going, it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. But what I didn't like is that we're paying more now for less. Because like I said, with the price point of Ultimate, it used to be $14.99. They added COD, it went to $22.99. They removed COD, it went to $16.99. It should have gone down to $14.99. That's my gripe. So they've kind of gone big jump forward. Oh my god, everyone's going to complain that it's a price. That's exactly what we want them to do. So when we reduce the price, they'll be happy. But we'll increase it a little bit by a couple of quid, and no one will notice. The problem is, we noticed. Bye-bye Game Pass? Just because of COD? No. Unless COD is the only game you play. There is 2 showcases on Thursday, which we're going to cover. Well, I did have lined up to talk about in a bit. We've got, of course, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I know this starts at 5, but then, or is it 4? But then we have this one as well. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to go live around the same time I normally do, and we could just check out these showcases then and see what they're like. That makes more sense to me. You think Game Pass is going to be phased out? What, the original games? Probably not anytime soon. At the moment, I need to check out Darwin's Paradox, and I want to play through Pragmata. And I still need to play enough into what was that game? I keep forgetting the name. I'm actually liking the game, but I keep forgetting the name. Ground Zero, which is like a Resident Evil low polygon game. I did say that at some point it has to give. You can't. Well, I don't think the exclusives have anything to do with it, because I don't see exclusives coming back. You might get timed exclusivity, but that's the best you're gonna get. I don't see full exclusivity coming back, and I don't think this is a play at exclusivity either, because obviously they can't make COD. I think this is totally unrelated to that. After Darwin's Paradox. Apparently Darwin's Paradox is like a 5-hour game. So, what do you reckon? Do you think I can finish that in one stream? Do you think I can do it? If Cthulhu was anything to go by, I definitely have a chance. Right, chat? Right? Right? You guys believe in me, right? You guys... Oh, come on! What do you mean, no? It's a 4.5-hour game, according to How Long to Beat. There's no way I'm gonna take 5 streams to win that game. Banisher, the problem is the promise of Game Pass is that all day one games will be on there. Now it's not. So they've broken their promise. So now you don't know what games will be on Game Pass or not. Will Blade be day one on Game Pass? I don't know. Will Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls 6 be day one on Game Pass? I don't know. We know Halo will be because they've said, but will Gear Z Day be day one on Game Pass? I don't know. Will Halo 7 be day one on Game Pass? I don't know. Do you see the point I'm making? Once you go back on your word, you don't know. And though everyone's going to say, of course it is, that's just being hopeful and, optimistic. But in reality, you don't know, because now they've gone back on their word. And I don't think removing Call of Duty was worth having that doubt over you. I think they should have just found another way. The tier that they've got, that the lower tier that they're talking about now with Call of Duty, offer that service. But if you want Call of Duty, you pay the higher price. And then that remains as this is going to have everything. But the one below at $22.99 is going to be missing Call of Duty and maybe other games in the future. And I think that's the tier that's what they should have done. Oh, it has, Susano. It's already in full effect. As of right now, it's in effect. Steve. Look, alright, it's not my game. The game was bugged, had issues, disappearing platforms, disappearing stairs, and made me restart the level 3 times. Right? That wasn't my fault. Still a good game, though. They've acknowledged that there are bugs in the game on social media to me, and they are working to fix the problems. So give it another patch or two, but I do recommend the game. It's a really good game. Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss. Yeah. I'm sidestepping what I said. What is it that I said that was sidestepping? I've got a question. Now that COD won't be in Game Pass Day 1, will there now be... Probably not, because Microsoft said they would not use COD to the court to gain a strategic advantage over PlayStation. Oh, you're talking about future games, Susanna. Yeah, we don't know. But that's the point I'm making, right? Until today, you knew that Call of Duty was going to be day one on Game Pass. You knew Blade was going to be on Game Pass. You knew all of these day one is on Game Pass. Now you don't. Well, that's what Steve was saying right now. Right? This is what Steve was saying. They want to, in his eyes, they want to phase it out. And so if we go by what you're saying, well, if you're not happy with it, stop buying it. And if enough people unsubscribe from Game Pass, then they will phase it out, because then they'll turn around and say the service didn't work, the numbers don't, math. And so we're going to have to abandon Game Pass. It's all a little bit of a minefield right now, isn't it? Sinceres, they're allowed to. Microsoft isn't. Yeah, let that make sense. Make that make sense. Because I can't make any sense of it. This Activision deal, Microsoft conceded so much, they bent the knee so much in order to get this Activision deal to go through. They gave away so much. And I'm still curious to this day if it really, truly was worth it to sell your soul like that. But that's the hill they wanted to die on, and they went ahead with it. I don't think it even matters if it's yearly serious. I don't think it matters. People are stuck on that yearly cycle for a bit. I don't think that ultimately matters what makes a super game. Right? Like, for example, if Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be on Game Pass, that would have also come off on this deal. Doesn't need to be a yearly thing. If Grand Theft Auto was going to be on here, and Microsoft, let's just hypothetically say Microsoft owned it and they were going to put it on there, that would have been another game that would have come off. And that's like a decade game. So from what I've heard, and I don't know how much of this is right or not, with Game Pass, a certain portion of Game Pass, even though Phil said that studios don't get any money from it, there is a percentage of that money that goes to studios when day one games go on there. Not to the third parties, to the first party studios. They get basically, depending on how popular it is and how many people are playing it, they get a certain percentage that is shared between the studios. From what I've heard and read, Call of Duty was taking 90% of that money, leaving the other studios with nothing. And so that model just simply wasn't working with Call of Duty in there because of just how big Call of Duty was. So, in many ways, financially, it just wasn't working. But let's look at it another way, right? Let's look at it another way. The last Call of Duty that I spent money on was Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360. I did play another Call of Duty, but that was on PS Plus. Now, the last time I've spent money on Call of Duty was on the early access packs that give you the DLC and stuff for Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7. So they got $30 then from me, $30 then. Now they're going to get nothing from me. I'm just not willing to pay for any of that stuff, right? So now they're going to get like where before they got $60 from me over the two games. Now they're just going to get absolutely nothing. And I'm not sure if they weighed that option because it was on Game Pass. I had friends that were playing it. $30 isn't much. I joined in. Them wanting $70, $80 now. I'm just not interested. I can wait a year for it to come to Game Pass and then play it, or I'll wait until it's in a second-hand shop and then I'll go buy it then. They're gonna either way. They're not getting any money from me, right? Because I'm just not a big COD fan. So I reckon there's a lot of people like me out there that are also going to be feeling this way. So I think they're actually going to lose money. The money that they were getting from the early access, I think they're going to lose. I front-loaded Susano, but not for Call of Duty, so I'm okay. But do you get what I mean? I think this was a. I think this was a situation where you had a bunch of suits in the room, a bunch of beans who decided they think they know best, and we already know that Asha isn't well versed in gaming mentality. I mean, we know this for a fact. She said it herself. And I think she's been given the wrong advice in terms of how to tackle this properly. Of course, I'm surprised it isn't already out, Banisher. COD does cost a lot to make, but they're gonna get no money from me. Why so serious? Previously, they got money. Now they're getting no money. Right? What did Phil lie about? I mean, considering while he was there, COD was in there. So what did he exactly lie about? Phil's not working there anymore. Phil's off living the rich man's life. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead because what would I have done? People don't buy COD for the main campaign. I would have kept the main campaign on there at the very least, and then if anyone wanted anything extra, like the multiplayer or zombies, then I would have made them pay for that. Or keep it simple. If you want the $16.99 Game Pass without COD, leave it there, and add a fourth tier in here. Call it Premium Plus, and then Ultimate remains at $22.99 with Call of Duty. That's it. I think adding an extra tier here in between Premium and Ultimate at the price that this is at without Call of Duty would have been so much more beneficial to them. And if they really wanted to, from $22.99, make it $24.99. But don't remove the day one games. That's it. Anyone that wants it will pay the $24.99. Done. If you don't care about COD and you want all the other games, you've got that option right here. And that would have just been a much more simpler way to do this. In an advisory role, but I mean, let's be realistic. Everyone says, oh, they're in there for the transition period, but they're not really there, are they? No one ever is in any company. How does removing it from Game Pass help with PlayStation sales? It doesn't. It helps with Xbox sales. What they're hoping is the 8% of people who used to buy it on Xbox will now buy it again. In terms of market share split, 8 to 10% of Call of Duty purchases was by Xbox owners. So they're hoping that 8 to 10% now go back and buy the game. Welcome back, Paul. Rocks? No, it's not. What's up, hon? This? Yeah, well. Can you also bring me another drink? Is it behind me? Dankeschön. Where's my Dakund? Oh, she's sleeping. Well, that's the thing, Navy. I just think this was a knee-jerk reaction. They're losing, like you say, microtransaction sales, early access sales. They're losing a whole bunch of stuff. And, you know, we'll find out soon if the math is mathing. You'll be surprised. I think there's a large number of people that subscribe to premium, and at $10.99, it's going to be way more attractive. You know, little Timmy doesn't need to have day one games. All little Timmy needs is to have a bunch of games that they can play, and at $10.99, that's a really good value, right? But I think the extra tier would have just been what they needed. A super game is something like Call of Duty, GTA 6. Well, Phil did try to do that, and Sony said no. I mean, Power Boss, this is going to be a field day for PlayStation owners because Xbox, Xbox fans celebrated Game Pass Activision during the deal, COD coming to Game Pass day one, and with the Activision deal, Microsoft sacrificed, the console, the exclusivity deals that they had, everything to gain Activision, ABK, and then they kind of went back on what they promised. So, as an Xbox fan, you're barely getting any Call of Duty games already. You're getting almost no Activision games coming to Game Pass. Call of Duty is now being removed from Game Pass, not the pre-existing ones, but all future ones. So, what is this deal for as an Xbox fan yourself? What has it done for you? It's brought you none of the Activision classic games. It's brought you no, WoW or anything like that to the service. And they've just removed the one big, selling factor that Activision did have, which was Call of Duty as well. So that, Xbox, there was a lot of sacrifices for this. And then they went and removed it. So it doesn't paint a good picture. And they're going to be lapping this up like there's no tomorrow. However, I can say that the guy stalking me that I showed you guys recently, he's no longer stalking me. Because after I said what I said on Tuesday last week, I found it odd that he mentioned in a post that he woke up on some titties. And then I found out today that he blocked me. So at least I'm free from my stalker. So there's that. And for the person in chat that went and let him know about it, I thank you. Like, seriously. Hey, Diablo. Yeah, Steve's burner. That's the one. I was being stalked by some dude that wanted to land on gas giants. And it turned out after I made it clear in stream that I'm not homosexual. I'm not that way inclined. I'm into women and only women. And I don't find men attractive. Even though I was flattered, not interested. Looks like after that statement, I was blocked. I ain't gonna miss him at all. Guy's become a PC guy. He kept crying about PC guy, and the guy went and bought a gaming PC. Like, and then he hides behind a facade that it's for podcasting. He went and bought a gaming PC for podcasting. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Because that's what normal people do, right? I don't think so, Vital. But we'll see. My only issue is this only one game now, but what's down the road? I mean, Infinite, that's the big question, right? That's the big question, and I think that's the one that people are going to be questioning now. And I don't, that's what I was saying at the start of the stream. I don't think that opening that can of worms was worth, right? That bad PR was worth it. I just don't. I just don't think it was worth it. I got nothing against people that are homosexual. I got friends that are really good friends. I think the biggest thing is that people are going to now, be very curious about what's next. So you got Call of Duty over here. Game Pass continues to be an awesome place for players to discover games, including Call of Duty, the older titles, obviously. Our focus remains unchanged to deliver the best possible Call of Duty game experience, and for players across every platform. We'll continue to support Game Pass through catalog titles and with new Call of Duty games on Ultimate the following holiday after launch. About 1 year. And so the people are asking, when can we expect the missing legacy titles? And that is something they will never answer. They just won't. Right? Am I bilingual? Yeah, I speak Turkish, English, and very little Japanese. Enough to meet and greet and buy stuff in the shops and stuff. Was he actually one of those people? That's less lame. What did Banisher say? Nah, I think he's right. Nah, Steve. Nah, you're good. Considering Black Ops 7 was a 1 billion budget. Really? On what we had? As a single player campaign? That didn't look. I mean, that was just reused assets over and over again. There's no way that game cost $1 billion. Unless they spent like 900 million on just the voice actors. That's crazy. There was nothing there that looked like it would cost $1 billion. We are talking about Black Ops 7, right? Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development. I mean, they've only got one developer working on it, Susano, so it's going to take a while. Like, I mean, one developer. That one developer's doing the front end, the back end, the QA, the networking, the whole works, man. The concept, the storyboarding, they're doing the creative work, they're doing everything. That one guy is literally running the show. But yeah, I think this was expected, but I think it was the wrong move. I don't think they should ever have removed games from Game Pass. They've opened Pandora's box now, and only time will tell. But the other question I have is, what about those people that, subscribe to Game Pass for like a year because they knew Call of Duty would always be on there? What then? Based on recent reports, it is highly likely that the development budget, some estimates speculating. However, officially disclosed figures for the series have previously peaked at around 700. That's insane. There's nothing in that game that screams $1 billion, man. Not Black Ops 7, anyway. I mean, I get like the zombie side and stuff. I'm only basing it on the campaign, of course. So it's it's bigger than just the campaign. I mean, it's no longer day and date, Archangel. So the promise of Game Pass was that all first-party games would be day and date, and it's not. Yeah, but that was a license issue, right? For one of the music tracks, and they got the license and put it back on. But like Pablo said, outside of license issues, they don't come off. Well, you can send those pictures to Steve. He's apparently got a collection on his burners, so send them back to him. But make sure you send it right to the right burner. Again, licensing issues. We said outside of licensing issues, they do come back. They stay. I mean, it didn't just come off Game Pass, it came off everything. But hey, if you bought it, or if you own it, you get to keep it. License issues are suck real bad. I mean, just look at Outrun. Outrun also doesn't exist anymore, right? That was a game that was really fun to play, but it's gone for good. You can't get it because they lost the Ferrari license. I mean, many things will eventually come off. That's because people just won't buy the games if they don't have real car manufacturers. It's a selling point, right, Steve? If they've just got fake names and stuff, people aren't interested. Money, Vital. Money. They're not restrictive, they just want money. You want the license for 10 years? There you go. 20 years? There you go. But after 20 years, I want you to give me more money so we can renew that deal. And it's just not worth it at times. Especially if they want a lot more. Just look at how much FIFA wanted from EA for just the name FIFA to be on their football games. And EA in the end said, you know what? We're just not going to give you that money and we're going to change the name. And guess what? FIFA lost out. FIFA lost the money that they were getting and then some. Because people are still buying football club, whatever it's called. And they're still calling it FIFA. So FIFA lost all that money that was coming from EA, the royalties that was coming from EA, and now they're stuck with what? Nothing. So yeah, companies are greedy. Tonda pivot. Is there any data set when all the existing Call of Duty games are leaving Game Pass? No. None of the games that are there right now are leaving. The ones that are currently in Game Pass are staying. Only the future games will not be coming. Day one. They wanted $1 billion every 4 years. Yeah, and what are they getting now, Gorsty? What are they getting now? They've been talking about that for the past 2 years now, 3 years, and they're still in the talking phase. I mean, as you can see here, we're dropping the price from $29.99 to $22.99 a month. Future Call of Duty titles will no longer join Game Pass Ultimate on day one. They will continue their they will join this tier the following holiday after launch, about a year later. Current Call of Duty titles that are on the service will remain available to Xbox Ultimate subscribers. So they could be removed for premium users as well. I don't know, I don't do premium, so I can't really answer that question. But at least on the Ultimate tier, the ones that are there right now will remain. This was like a cut. The big thing was they wanted Call of Duty to grow, right, Angel? And it didn't really get the growth they wanted, I'm guessing. And the price increase pretty much made it stagnate entirely. The growth for it just wasn't there. Sure, they got a massive bump, according to Satya, on PC at the very least for Game Pass. But PC Game Pass is also dirt cheap. It's nowhere near the price that Ultimate is. And they don't need to have Ultimate. It was, they didn't see an increase to Ultimate, they saw an increase to PC Game Pass. I don't think they saw the growth that they thought that they would see by putting it onto Game Pass. Now, had they made the game exclusive to Xbox and said, right, this game isn't available anywhere else, not on PlayStation, not on Switch, not on anything else, just PC and Xbox, I think what you would have seen was an increase in people buying the console and the game. I don't think they would have seen an increase in Game Pass, but you probably would have seen an increase in the number of people buying the console and the game. they would have seen some growth there, but they didn't do that because they couldn't, because they promised COD would be exclusive. And so, really, you know, the experiment to put Call of Duty on Game Pass backfired. But what we don't know, I mean, people are only saying that, you know, 300 million. This narrative is that they lost 300 million, right? And people are looking at that black hole. Does that 300 million include the cost, just the sales that they lost? Or does it also include the microtransactions they gained from the people that actually played the game through Game Pass? Right? Like, they got $60 from me just on the early access alone, and probably another $40 on just cosmetics that my kids wanted that I bought for them. So, but collectively between the two games, they got $100 from me, £100, right? That they would never have got. And I'm pretty sure there are others that I've seen on social media, loads of people where I didn't pay for the game, so I bought like $20-30 worth of microtransactions. And so, did they balance that loss of 300 million with the number of people that bought the microtransactions? I don't know. And they didn't really make that clear. All they said was it was 300 million less than what they had last year, the previous year, or what they projected. But if they added the microtransactions from those people that were playing it through Game Pass, maybe it wouldn't have been that they lost 300 million. Maybe they would have broken even. Their sales, but if that's the case, then Power Boss, did they really lose 300 million? Yeah, they would need a lot of Game Pass subscribers to do it, but I'm assuming they didn't maintain those subscribers either. People got it, played the campaign, and dipped. But would those same people have got it? Would those same people have bought the game just for the campaign? I don't know. Well, now you can spend £230, right? £70 for the game, and you've still got a healthy £230 budget to spend on the game. I mean, I don't think that really matters, Susano. The fact is they're still paying for it, right? But yeah, I just think it was the wrong move. I can't. I'm happy about the price drop. That's great. I'm curious to see if people that did, stack up on the new pricing, if they're going to get reimbursed. Probably not. But I just think this could have been handled in a so much better way. This wasn't the right move. And then you've got the super positive white knighters who will say this is a great thing and Xbox can do no wrong. I think they are probably the biggest danger to any fandom than anything else, right? You've got people who will literally turn around and white knight everything without questioning it, obedient soldiers to the very end. They will march into Hell's Pit as if Microsoft demands them to. Those are the people I think that will cause more damage to gaming and Xbox in general than anyone else. Man, why the fuck do you all get £5 gift cards and I don't get anything? I only swore at Xbox like 3 or 4 times, and all I get is a lousy T-shirt that I made. No, I'm just kidding. I won't get shit anyway. Let me see. Did I get $5? I didn't get no money, man. I didn't get no $5, but they told me I've accumulated enough points to get money. I did get 997 reward points for buying a game, though. But no money. No money. God damn it, no money. The deal you made with Philip is still in effect, but it's a good thing I got a DeLorean. I got a Back to the Future. I don't even get the T-shirt. I make the T-shirt. Imagine always... I mean, I don't do that, man. I won't defend the company unless... I shouldn't need to defend the company. Look, the only time I'm going to defend something is if I've got a stake in it. If I've got shares and stuff like that. I'm gonna be defending it. Yeah, bad math and shit. Because I got money to make from that. I don't have any money to make from this. Especially from Xbox. I get literally nothing from them. Nice, Power Boss. Nice. That is very cool. Very, very cool. Yes? Ooh. Steam Hearts Saturn Tribute is on sale on Steam. It's gone to £6.70. I think I'll pick it up. You can't go wrong with games at £5-6, man. Especially when I've been wanting them. £5-6. That's literally yes, please. Look, I have a bone to pick with thing replaced. First, I see they kill Uncle Ben. I mean, all the guy did was make rice. And then then you have to go and kill Commissioner Gordon. Like, hello? No. It's not happening. First, Uncle Ben. And all the guy did was make rice. That we all like to eat. And then they go and take out Commissioner Gordon. Like, come on, man. If you know, you know. Mouse PI Detective for Hire was £25. Yeah, like, I think it's like £17 on loaded on Steam. Good price. Chaos has his Nintendo Defense Force badge too. Hey, look, don't touch Nintendo, right? You saw those native graphics on that Nintendo Switch. That looked amazing. You know it looked amazing. Let me bring something up. You're all like dissing like Nintendo Switch, right? Mate, this is native, right? Native, no DLSS or anything like that. This shit is native on the Nintendo Switch too. Like, look at it. Your PC or your PlayStation 5 Pro or Series X is not doing this. You ain't getting graphics like this on your consoles. This is the power of Nintendo Switch 2. See the what now, Steve? I don't know what you're talking about. What did you want to see? Yeah, this is Cyberpunk 2077 native 4K, no DLSS on the Nintendo Switch 2. You ain't getting... I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. How? It's called the hyper realistic mod. It's with Dreampunk 3.11. This is graphics in 8K as well, running on a 5090. Steve, you're still gonna send me that 5090, right? You see? Amazing Nintendo Switch 2 graphics. Hey, Bullets, can your PlayStation run it like that? But yeah, going back to the topic, it is what it is, man. I just hope that it doesn't snowball into nothingness. I still think it was cheeky that they're charging you more now than they were before, and they removed the one reason why they added the price. That's my biggest gripe in all this. This should have gone down to $20.99 or $14.99 as it was in the UK. The price should have reverted. As it stands right now, you lost the one game that they promised to give you day one on Game Pass, and you are paying £2 more for it, or $2 more for it. You see, Steve? White knighting the Nintendo Switch goes a long way. Yeah, Archangel, just look up the hyper realistic mod on Cyberpunk and you'll find it. It looks amazing. Hey, look, Pragmata on the Switch 2 runs at an amazing high quality 360p. You ain't gonna think. You're not messing with that. 360p is the new 4K. So chat in general. Let's let me see if I can. Can any of the mods create a poll, or is that something only I can do? Let me see. Let me set one up. Start a poll. Probably should have done this at the very beginning. I just want to see where everyone stands. All right. Poll is up. we'll see where it stands. So far, it's a staggering no. Hey, look. At least those pixels are shining and you can notice them, right? I mean, it did come with a price drop. It dropped from $29.99 to $22.99. That's if you're in the... I think you're in the US, right, Archangel? Susanna being a spoilsport is not voting. So it did come with a price drop. You are saving $7 a month now. But if you're like everyone else that's stacked up for 3 years, it doesn't really matter. Yep, which is more than what it should have been. It should have dropped down to $20.99. That was the original price point, right? Before they increased it. No, it was $19.99, wasn't it? That's what it should have gone down to. $19.99. Let's see what social media is saying. I don't understand you guys. Like, the gamer has no agency to choose or not to choose to sub to Game Pass Ultimate. I just don't think we are entitled to day one games. If they take too many out, guess what? I unsubscribe, problem solved. That's what they want. So you're basically just doing what they want. If I feel I'm still getting value, I stay subbed. It's my choice. People don't realize that they're being herded. It's made PlayStation Plus Premium look very overpriced now. Extra $5 for day one games, except COD. Apparently, that other kid, Sage something. Any of you see him on social media? He made a bet with Gaz, saying that they wouldn't remove COD, and if they did, he'd buy him 2 games. Gaz just got 2 games. It'll be better to buy COD than pay a monthly subscription for that game, for that specific game. That was a great move by Xbox. And yet, that was the big selling point that people were cheering ABK for, right? Another stupid move from Xbox, and why I'm hesitant at giving her her dues. This ain't it either. Yeah, the Sensu girl. Yeah, that's the one. No, it won't. But I'd much rather they reduce it to $19.99 now, Vince, and then turn around and say, "Hey, next year we're gonna up it to £22, $22.99." Now they're gonna go from 22 to 24, and probably, you could have maintained that lower price for a longer time. All subscription services in the end do go up, but they could have maintained that lower price point for a lot longer for their consumers. Wow, more people calling him Esteban. Esteban. See ya, power. Why would spending $70 to own Call of Duty outright be better than spending $30 per month to rent it? No idea. What if they make a COD pass? They had the opportunity to do that, and they didn't take it. But it's going to be a minimal price increase, and it's going to happen, Vince. Or Vincey. It's going to happen. We all know this. I think it's pretty much a... You know, it's set in stone. See, this is what I don't get, right? Chris String said it's rare to see a subscription service drop in price, but Game Pass Ultimate still costs 35% more today than it did 2 years ago. Did he think it was sustainable for day one games to stay at $20 forever? Does he see the price of everything? Does he see the price of everything the last few years? A PS5 Pro cost 75% more than it did 20 days ago. Is it really 75% more? I thought it only went up by 200. That's not right. The maths isn't working there. As of today. So we're about to be paying for a $29.99 codless in the near future. Exactly, Archangel. It might not be. It is. The maths isn't math. Exactly, Archangel. Eventually, at some point. I don't suspect it will be anytime soon. I think you're probably looking about 5-6 years if Game Pass will still be a thing back then. I presume it will be with the way everything's going. It was, yeah. Ghosty. So, but there's a long time for it to hit that price point, I reckon. But it would have been even better, even longer if they went down to the original price point of $20. But people defending price, this sort of thing, I don't know, man. It just feels weird. I can't be the only one that thinks it's weird. People shouldn't. They shouldn't be. 2 years ago, people were hyping the ABK acquisition primarily on COD, right? Being day one Game Pass, idea of it being exclusive to Game Pass, and now 2 years later, people are hyping that it's come off Game Pass. It's it's weird. We live in some weird timeline this generation, man. That's all I'm saying. We are living in some weird timeline this generation. I'm going to be right back, chat. I'll leave chair with you for just a second. Got ambushed by the cats again. I did try to see if Luna wanted to jump on and do a cameo, but she feels like doesn't feel like she wants to do that right now. Out of pocket. Chair has been doxxed. What the hell are you guys fucking doing? Got over here. Game Pass Ultimate price before a new COD game launched day one was $16.99. When the first COD launched, it was $19.99. The second COD launched, it was $29.99. And with 0 new COD games launches, it's $22.99. So you can see there's been like a $2 increase. Well, $3, I guess. Anyway, moving on to other news. As we were talking about earlier, this Thursday, we have 5 p.m. We've got the IGN at Idea Xbox. So I could go live at 4:30 on Thursday, so we can check this out, or I can leave it till the evening. How do you guys want to play this? Now they do also have at 4 p.m. the Assassin's Creed one, but you know, I will watch that on a replay. Unless you guys want me to go live at 3:30 p.m. But I think that might be a bit early for some people. Or I could go live at my usual time and we can check both of them out at the same time. Woodpit, they are not going to give you that guarantee. It's never going to happen. They promised day one and they've already gone back on their promise. Even if they guaranteed you that it's a one-time thing, are you honestly going to believe them? Like, being realistic, Woodpit, they promised you all day one games, no matter what it was. It's going to be day one on Game Pass, and now it's not. So, can you honestly turn around and say that even if they did promise you and guarantee you and whatever, you're going to believe it? Because you're not, realistically. Once you go back on it, once you break a promise, that's it. It's done. It's game over. So it's just going to be a wait and see. I hope it is a one-time deal, personally. And if it is, it's fine, right? It is what it is. As long as they can maintain a lower price of Game Pass, that will get more people into Game Pass. It will keep it healthy, and it will get more games on there going forward. And I think that's the ultimate aim, right? What they're trying to do here with Game Pass is lower the price, get more people in. Let them experience the service that I think, and that premium one is great value. So they're going to try and funnel people into this and say, right, you know, if you want to play this right now, you just got to pay, you know, £6 extra a month. It's not a lot. You know, if you can't, you know, a 6-pack of can of Coke, if really. Don't buy something that's unhealthy. Buy this, which may or may not be healthy. But still, you gain a bunch more for that $6 than you would do for that. And so here you are. And if that Game Pass number now goes from, say, 30 million, 40 million, whatever it is right now, right? And by Christmas, you're looking at the Game Pass number sitting healthily somewhere in the region of about 70 million, 80 million. Everyone is going to look back on this and say this was the best move and the smartest move that they've ever made. Because they're going to hit the goals that they once, envisioned. So it's just a wait and see game and see where it's going. And once Game Pass gets more popular and bigger, and if it actually hits the numbers that they want to hit, I can see a future where Call of Duty goes back on there. But right now, under the current way it is with the price point and the way Game Pass is stagnated, I think that's probably the reason. You know, it's for them internally, it's the right call. You trust Queen Asha? Hey, 1469. What's up? You trust Queen Asha? Not sure what the point of sale contract stated either. Nah, I don't think it really matters at this point. No, exactly, Archangel. Except when I say it, right? Because when I say it, it's a thing. Didn't play COD, to be honest. I did play the last couple, but fell off quickly. So Black Ops 7 was a good single player multi. Yeah, that's basically how I did it, Fexter. But expect to see a lot of trolling on social media, a lot of, backwards and forwards and whatnot. It's going to happen. But, they're going to do what they need to do, what they believe is best for the service. I don't think Game Pass is going away, and I think what they're trying to do is actually, make Game Pass way more relevant than it is now. I think they're trying to push Game Pass so it's just, gains crazy amount of subscribers, and reducing the price in the way they have, I think will do it. I think they've got a good chance. Exactly. See, gaming has the right of it. If Microsoft buys Sega and adds all Atlas RGG to Game Pass day one and the back catalog, I'll forgive them. Yeah, good luck with that one. Look, Final Fantasy games on Game Pass are way more valuable than Call of Duty. Game Pass drop. I think you're going to see a price drop for consoles as well. What I found interesting is, as we segue away from this, Forza Horizon 6 is actually right now getting crazy amount of marketing in Japan. And you've got a lot of Japanese people that are really excited for the new game, the new Forza Horizon 6. They want to see it, they want to play it. And because it's in Japan, their home country, it's cool. But I've been seeing so many posts over the last 2 days, quite a number of them, where people are literally complaining that they can't find an Xbox to buy in Japan, and they want to buy an Xbox, but they're not willing to pay the overpriced second-hand prices or models that some of the shops are asking. Like, they want to go into the local retailers that they have and buy a retail box, and they haven't had stock for ages. Not even Amazon in Japan has stock. It's crazy how Microsoft has decided, hey, we're going to advertise all this stuff over in Japan, but we're not going to provide you a way to actually play the game. I think they just have to fix a bunch of stuff. And I think they need to make the console a bit more available. Hey, if it was reverse day, I'd be saying for you not to get me a 5090. But since it isn't reverse day, I'm still waiting for that 5090. You see how this works? If they don't have a PC, play anywhere means nothing. Or a handheld PC. If they buy both Sega and so yeah, I'm not sure what time you guys want me to go live for this. Obviously, the Ubisoft one starts at 4 o'clock. I don't think it will go for that long. I can't imagine it going for longer than an hour. But it's just a reveal, right? So it should be like a half an hour at max. And then at 5 o'clock, we have the Idea Xbox. So if you guys want me live at 3:30, I can do that. Or do you guys want me to be live later on in the day? Don't need to watch the Ubisoft one, but that still doesn't change the 4:30 then? I mean, I'm still going to watch the Ubisoft one, regardless, because I want to see what it is. So it can come after. I know, Vin. But this one is with this game, it's a bit different, right? You're aggressively advertising in a market where you're not selling the console. It's a bit weird. What's even more interesting is that Black Flag Resynced doesn't include DLC or multiplayer. There's no multiplayer. Apparently, Black Flag had multiplayer before, but not the resynced version. Watch it when John isn't around. You're just mean. What did John ever do to you? Wait, was it John that stole my 4090? Was it him? Was it John that stole my 4090? The one that keeps parading that he stole my 4090? King David said on his show Nintendo got the whole floor while Sony and Microsoft. So it was him. Right. Right. Assassin's Creed Black Flag can go then. I'll show you. No, 3:30. 4:30 it is. We'll watch it after the Xbox one. But not before. So he steals my 4090 that I was supposed to be sent, and then mocks it as well. That's crossing a line. I heard there was you were available as a hired goon, Mr. Gorsty. So I may be needing your services sooner rather than later. King David said on his show Nintendo got the whole floor while Sony and Microsoft doesn't have the whole floor. I don't understand that, Byron. What do you mean by that? Mate, Ghosty, you say that, right? I gave my son my old PS5, you know, the very original one that didn't have the removable drive. I walked up into his room the other day and he's using it as a doorstop. I gave the guy a PS5, right? Because I got the Pro. And he's using it as a doorstop. You know, literally just to keep his door open. That's some mad disrespect, man. I'm like, why didn't he just sell the bloody thing? And use something else there. Is the Black Flag Racing gonna be a quadruple A? No, it's 5A. Chelsea lose 3-0. He does have games. He's literally got every game that I get free from Sony. You know, that's my primary console, so as soon as he logs in, he gets access to everything I have. At least he used to. It's more used as a doorstop. No, my oldest son. Minnie doesn't care about consoles. He did at one point, but now he's literally full on PC. The same as my oldest son. Once they started playing PC, that's it. Consoles died for them. Once they went PC, that was it. It was over. You know, they keep telling me they'd rather play games at 120 FPS at 1080p than whatever the consoles can do at 30 FPS, 40 FPS. Can't blame them. The price of Game Pass got lowered. Yeah, Mini XL, that's the one. Even though I don't like them removing COD, this move makes more sense. Il Raytito? Yes and no. Yes and no, my guy. The price should have went down more, but it does set a dangerous precedent. The price of the console is going down. The next generation Helix is coming. Somebody's pissed. It ain't me, Mr. Glass. It is not me. Yeah, not so mini. On Mini XL, you can say how you want. Every Nintendo game and accessories are all taken up. I mean, if you look at the Nintendo Switch 2, it's actually not doing great, right? The sales have stagnated. There was an initial burst of Nintendo Switch 2 sales, and it did really well over Christmas, and then the sales dropped. You don't hear Nintendo breaking any more milestones, do you? You don't hear them rampaging on with how aggressively their sales are with the Switch. The notion of Nintendo even selling consoles has just completely gone away. Periodically, you'll hear stuff from Sony all the time. And Nintendo were publicizing their growth quite frequently. Now, not a peep. I think the Switch 2 could be, the Wii U version, a Wii U version 2. Oh, shop floor space. I mean, Xbox has no shop floor space. They're all digital. Have you gone into places like Computer Exchange? Computer Exchange. They have nothing. If you go to Game, there's no space at all. Just a couple of cards for games. Because they just don't sell very well. PlayStation has a lot of sales, though. They have a lot of accessories. If Leaf was here... He's been lost to the wind. Did you see the mod for Mouse PI with Red Blood? No, I haven't. But that's the beauty of PC, right? Look, 360p, man. We see 360p. Jason Ronald has fought back against Kepler L2 and Nib, and has reconfirmed that Project Helix, which they really should just change the name now and either call it Helix or Xbox Helix, will be available as a first-party Xbox console. It's nice to see that they are coming out and being very vocal now. They're not sitting there and just taking shit. They're turning around and saying, look, fuck you guys. I said it once, I say it again. It's a damn console. And a first party one at that. He's the guy behind the build of the console, right? Game is in a Sports Direct, yeah. Well, some of them anyway. And so then the post moved. Well, apparently you'll be able to get a Helix version, not Helix, MSI versions of the Helix and all this and all that. I mean, this Kepler guy just constantly leaks shit. But it's going to be a really good day when Helix gets announced and it's proven that it's a first-party Xbox console. I want to see what all these people that were saying, like RGB and all that crap, what they're going to turn around and say when it's a console. Ronald is GOAT. Yep, Ronald McDonald. Look, Gorsty, I showed you what the Switch 2 can do with Cyberpunk 2077. Don't make me bring that video back up again, man. You know what, Steve? I don't normally agree with you. In fact, I generally don't. But on this occasion, I do. I really do like the Xbox Series X design. I'm not fond of the Series S's design, but there is something about the Series X's simplicity that I really like. It is, I mean, you may have been sarcastic, but personally, I really do like the Series X's design. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like the Series S's design. But the Series X design is nice. I really like it. Wondering why the post looks different on your X from mine? Because mine is superior! Yeah, I said on this occasion. Nightmare to clean? Why? Just open the backup and you've got access to everything. I didn't bother removing the fan. Don't really need to. Where the heatsink is where most of the dirt is. And on top, just get one of those air spray canisters and just spray at the top from a distance a bit to clean the fans. Get some of the some of the dust off there. It'll all go down to the bottom anyway, and once you've opened the back up, you can just clean it out. That's what I did. I mean, I also agreed with him, Diablo, after he offered that he should send me that graphics card, but apparently he doesn't agree with me anymore. See? There are stuff that we do agree on. Just not everything. He said he would send me a 6000 Pro RTX, but I agreed with him. He should. I also agreed that he should give me the deeds to the new business that he opened. I agree with him, but what can I do? You agree with Steve? Are you okay? Only when it suits me. Gaming. Only when it suits me. The Series X is my favorite looking console. It looks really nice, man. I'm just surprised that they didn't really utilize the... I don't know, what do you call them? The sleeves? They didn't really utilize them. I expected more, or more custom, limited edition consoles. Like the Indiana Jones one looked amazing. And they didn't bother releasing one. Only just one for a winner, and that was it. For the unhappy few, pun intended, you can save those $7 a month for my god every year. Bonus now, it's cheaper to get Game Pass reward points. Producer, they've lowered the price, which is great. They've removed COD, which is fine. But they didn't put the price at the point where it was when they added COD. So if they're removing COD from the service, the price should have gone back to what it was before they added COD. Instead, it's gone down to a price point where they're basically now making you pay more than what it was before, but you're getting less. And that's my gripe with it. Yeah, console reps, they should have done more of those. I don't understand why they didn't. Sunshine. Dark Age. Hey, don't think piggies can't fly. They just don't want to show it yet. I like the GameCube design as well. That was a cool design. I am getting less because the Fortnite doesn't mean anything to me. I'd be more than happy for them to remove it. I'm never going to use that, so that added zero value to me. So I'm still getting less. You know, make the Fortnite thing a bolt-on for people that want to. If you want the Fortnite crew thing, pay extra. Pay the $2 extra and you can get it. I'd much rather save those $2 or £2 and not pay for it. Because I'm never going to use it. No one in my household is going to use it. It's just, they've just tacked something on that. And considering, you know, Fortnite isn't doing great at the moment, in terms of popularity, you know, it is winding down. The craze that Fortnite had, it is winding down. It's even worse. Did Steve not say he will get you a 5090? Hey, look, I'm seeing pigs fly right now, outside my window. Yo, Steve, where's my 5090? Not the one that you bricked, the other one. My son used to play that religiously at one point, but then he just got bored. You see, Ghosty? Always there to back me up. I like it. But yeah, Jason Ronald has reconfirmed that the Xbox console is a first-party Xbox console, but these guys are still insisting that it's a PC. And I don't get it. Senor Suhei Yoshida says Jim Ryan fired him from PlayStation Studio. Jim Ryan wanted to remove me from first party because I didn't listen to him. He asked me to do ridiculous things and I said no. Now, this is a guy that, you know, was there and championed a bunch of great PlayStation games. And he got removed for the live service. What Xbox need is someone like him to frontier the Japanese side of things. I'm not saying they need him specifically, although I think he would be great, but they need a Shuhei Yoshida to manage the Far East in terms of gaming for Xbox. And I think that's been one aspect of Microsoft that's been sorely missing. I mean, it's not just Japan, Reichi. I think they need one for every region, be it China, Korea, Japan. I think they just need someone like him that will go around that region and, you know, find good games. Right now, Xbox is getting skipped for a lot of games, whether it's day one or entirely, and it's sad, and that needs fixing. But it's crazy that you would think someone as, you know, good as what Shuhei was, the number of games that he, you know, brought forward, and Jim Ryan just turned around and just yeeted him straight out just because he wasn't on board with the live service stuff. And when we find out now, it wasn't the right pivot for them either, even though they're still trying to pivot in that live service. Sometimes having principles is worth more, Banisher. It was one of the reasons why, you know, in the end, I didn't want to stay at Sega anymore. It compromised my principles on games, on the condition of certain games releasing. I didn't feel comfortable with how broken some games were. and I refused to sign them off. And that didn't sit well with the higher ups. But my principles were worth more. And I, in the end, I left with my head held high. The Hero project is something Microsoft definitely should be taking, a big interest in. But yeah, this is something that Microsoft really probably wants to check up in. Starfield seems to have done really well for itself. Bethesda Starfield was the best-selling game of the week. Full game dollar sales, physical and digital US. First time led the weekly US best-selling titles chart since September 2nd, 2023. Starfield was according to Circana. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Starfield seems to be doing better as it's going on. So, yeah. Maybe porting it over might have been the right choice. I think Todd Howard was saying something about it too. All those decisions to not have Japan and China games came down to both Nadella and Amy, 30%. I don't think it was Phil at all. I think... I don't know. I wouldn't put it solely on Nadella. I wouldn't put it on thing. I think it's a combination of things. I just think Microsoft in general just didn't care about the Far East. They believed that they just couldn't break that market, and I just don't feel like they made enough of a push. During the 360 days, they got a bunch of games that were really good, and the 360, I think, did well in Japan. It had good games like Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, and a bunch of others that were exclusive to the Xbox 360 that were good games. And so people were buying the 360. Even now with the Series X and S, right? There's still certain games that are out available right now in Japan that won't see the light of day over in the West. That is quite, big in that market. And I'm seeing like those games, and they're selling well to their niche, and the sales numbers are pretty decent for the amount of market share that's there for Xbox. But they really could have pushed that so much more, and I just don't think they cared enough to do it, which is a shame, because I think they should have. It's always been the one thing I think Xbox has lacked. They thought they could get away with just looking after, catering for two markets. And then after the whole CMA ordeal, they kind of gave up on Europe as well. Because you can see a massive drop in care from Microsoft after once the CMA kind of did what they did. It's obvious that they pretty much pulled out of the UK. They can't fully pull out, like the whole corporation. But even when I was working at the agency we saw budgets crumbling for Xbox. Anything that was Xbox related, Surface related, had their budget slashed by like 95%, some even more. It was brutal how quickly Microsoft literally did no business with the UK. Phil skipped Genshin, yeah. He also skipped GTA 3, I think. Maybe not Phil, but there were some big decisions about skipping, right? They even turned down Insomniac for Spider-Man. Or was it Marvel and Insomniac? Yeah. It's not that they're skipping Xbox, Raichi. They've got a contract. Sony goes in and signs a contract. and says either for 1 year or 2 years they want exclusivity, and so they can't release. That's the deal that Sony's doing. Sony is still trying to remove games off Xbox. Their motto is to money hat or make exclusive deals as much as they can to restrict games going to Xbox. Xbox's motto is to give PlayStation as many games as they can while getting nothing in return. And I think that's why people are aggrieved and want exclusives back. If Sony was giving Xbox users something, I think it would be a lot different. But it's a one-way traffic at the moment, and that needs to stop. GTA 3 was... I mean, if you watch the documentary that they had, Ghosty, he was involved in the decision. He was there, and he was part of the conversations. He said himself. Right? It's got to be give and take. And at the end of the day, if it's not give and take, one side loses out. So why should Xbox customers lose out? It's not right. And this is why the whole exclusivity notion comes up again, time and time again. Despite Microsoft is feeding PlayStation game after game, Sony is just saying, right, I'm going to use that 30% to make sure you get less games going forward by removing third-party games from you, even if it is day one, which is what most people care about. It doesn't work, man. Their strategy doesn't work. Derek Strickland has gone from being some kind of analyst to I hate Xbox and Xbox is bad. And his stuff has gone from getting, 15, 20 likes to 150 likes now. People are now noticing him because Xbox bad. And this isn't the first one that he's posted. He's been posting for days now. Xbox bad, trying to get some traction going so he can get some kind of relevance. He wants to, I don't know. I guess he wants to be the next Dreamcast guy. He's seen that this is the only way. Interesting pivot in strategies, though. And Microsoft doesn't need to give its single-player games either, and it shouldn't. And this is why I want Microsoft to return to exclusive games. I want them to make all games exclusive. Everything. Everything in their catalog, I want them to make exclusive. With the exception of Call of Duty, because that's legally binding. But I want them just to do it. And then what I want Microsoft to do is turn around and go money hat every single game there is. I want them to do it. I want them to go and see those third-party companies and say, right, I want to money hat this. I want to get this game and I want 2 years, 3 years exclusivity on everything. They got the money. They can do it. I want them to do it. I want the tables to turn so people realize that it's give and take. It won't be long before the PlayStation fanboys start crying. Exactly, Whippet. That's exactly what I want. And they can do that anytime they want. All it takes is the click of a finger. And they can do it. They got the money to burn. They can be a loss leader all they want. They can turn the tables round and make Xbox start selling quite quickly. I mean, you can play Fable. You got a PC. You stole my 4090. But that's what I want. And it's not for even anything outside of just pure badness. I want it just for the sake of it. I want to see what would happen. In that sort of a world where Microsoft turns around and starts being the absolute wanker that we know they can be, I want to see what would happen. Where they turn around and make all ABK games exclusive. All console games exclusive. And I'm not even just talking thing. Ecosystem. Make it straight onto the console. You want to play those games day one? You buy the console. I want to see what would happen. I want to see if people would turn around and start buying the console. I think they would. And then if they start money hatting games even more and making those exclusive, all these companies like Square Enix and Konami and Namco, all they care about is the bottom line, right? You make sure that bottom line is covered, and it's fine. And just see what would happen for a year. It'd be an interesting experiment. You say that, Ice Pick, but the Switch 2 isn't selling very well, is it? I mean, it sold greatly at the beginning, but it stagnated very quickly, and the Switch 2 is small. I just feel like the generation of gaming is changing in the way it's approached. Even the PS5, I think it's selling way more in the US than it is in Japan. Way more. And I know Steve agrees with me on the whole exclusivity, so it's fine. I know I got Steve's backing. I literally just bought a Switch 2 because I wanted to own the Switch 2. Right. I have this habit where every generation I buy one of each console. And that's it. So I can play anything I want. But that was literally the only reason I bought a Switch 2. And you told me it's the right move. There's no copium there. I mean, like, if there's nothing coming to PlayStation, where do you think people are going to go? They're going to wait 1 year for PlayStation to release one game a year? Come on, think logically. If you're getting no Dragon Quest games, if you're getting no Final Fantasy, you're getting no Doom, no Elder Scrolls, no nothing from any of these studios. You're getting no Devil May Cry, no Monster Hunter. If Microsoft just comes and says, I'm money hatting all of those for a year, you think people are just going to stay on PlayStation? That's like a proper hostile takeover, but that's what it would take. And I reckon people would move. Yeah, you'll wait. A lot of people won't. I mean, look, we've all said, right? This is the PlayStation mantra. Exclusives sell consoles. So I'm saying do exactly what they said, but at a much more aggressive level. And then see where it's at. They swear by the fact that exclusives sell consoles. So it's going to sell. There's nothing illegal about that. They can money hat any contract they want. They're not buying the studios. They're not creating a monopoly. They're just buying contracts. There's nothing illegal about that. I was going to name Gears of War, but then obviously that wasn't a game worthwhile, so, I had to stop at Doom. Money had some of the big ones, yeah. I mean, that's what Sony have been doing, right? For years. So, it absolutely would make a difference. But I would love to see Microsoft be that aggressive. I never said I was a Gears fan. I am a Final Fantasy fan, though. You go where Ubisoft goes. You see, Banisher would get Banisher over on Xbox again. But man, I did not see them doing that today with the Game Pass pricing. Super Mario Warriors? Wahoo? I mean, that's just Smash Brothers, right? I don't know, man. That's just me. I would definitely love to see what would happen in that situation. And I'm all for it. I've always said I've been for exclusives, and that's never changed. And it never will change. I've always said exclusives are important, and I'm going to stick by that. Poke Warriors, that could be. Hey, you got Power World for that. Money talks, light. Money talks. Relationship doesn't matter two shits. It's money. These companies don't give a shit about anything else. They care about money. If Microsoft offers them way more than what Sony's offering, they'll go with Microsoft. Shareholders only care about money. They don't care about feelings. It's always about the bigger check. PlayStation fans are salty, Sanchez? Why, what's going on? Did something else get announced that I'm not aware of? You're going to stop by the post office, Steve? Pardon me. Take it easy, Steve. Oh, mate, if they money had Tomb Raider, you're gonna have what was his name? Ryan. Oh, can you believe it? They've money hatted Tomb Raider. What a disaster! But yeah, I think, I'm seeing this on social media from a lot of people right now. A lot of people are saying what I'm saying. In 2024, $20 got you Call of Duty day and date in Game Pass. COD is a big reason why people subscribed. I don't think that's true. So it should have at least dropped to $20. You've got Xbox fans saying stop launching first-party titles in Game Pass Day 1 altogether to bring the price down further. I mean, you got it down to $10.99. What more do you want? I mean, you've literally got premium for that. People are stupid. So it's now at $276 a year. That's the equivalent of 4 games at $70. If you don't have the big games, people move, man. You don't, Sony don't release games like they used to maintain it. If you don't have the cadence of games coming, and let's be realistic here. What on earth would PlayStation have had this time round if Microsoft didn't bail them out with all these games? Microsoft bailed them out good, and they shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't anyway, but that's just me. I think 2 of them competing against each other is a better world than no one competing. One company running the show is never a good thing. Having 2 of them compete is better for gamers. Mate, no one talks about Marathon. That game's dead already. Despite the fact that it is a good game, it's dead. I think Bungie are done for with that. You want to know how dead it is? I'm seeing people playing Destiny 1 again. Saros isn't going to light any fires. It's a good game, and I reckon it will be a really good game. But it's a niche game. Just like Returnal. Returnal was great. It's one of my favorite PlayStation games on the PS5. But it's not going to light any fires. Competition is where it's at, and that's what we need to get back to. When these 2 companies are fighting for your money and fighting for your approval, that is it. That is when gamers get the best experience. Apparently Street Fighter 6 Year 4 DLC leaked, and it will feature Hager, Goken, and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. Let's go! Tifa Bay. That's awesome. Tifa coming to Street Fighter. That is going to sell big. Even people that didn't buy Street Fighter are going to buy it just to be able to use Tifa as a main character. Yeah, Marathon is dying fast. It's only a certain region of people that are playing it, Ghosty. That's why. No way. D-Batch is now saying that Xbox Helix is a console. What the Now tell me that is what? There is no shot of this. No way. No way. My guy was literally crying for a whole year that it's a PC, and now he's on board with it being a console. And he was the audacity. He has the audacity to even try and cheer it on. That's... What a fucking idiot. From what I've heard, PSN is getting a price increase. So there is that. I've heard that there's a price increase coming to PSN. So we'll see what that means in the future if it does arrive. But I've heard it's not far away. Guys, I need to ask you a question. So, have you heard of a game called Wuthering Waves? It's coming to Xbox very soon. In fact, it's coming in June or July, if I'm not mistaken. Really good game. I'm really enjoying it, and it's got a great story. 1.0 is a bit slow, right? But once you get to 2.0 in Rinasita, it really explodes. It was pretty much like a relaunch for the game. So a lot of people have been talking about the ratio of the male characters to the female characters, right? And saying that it's disproportional that they released it. Do you think that there is a disproportionality to the male to female characters? I couldn't even finish. I think it's quite proportional, don't you? It's still going to run Steam and stuff like that, Raichi, but it's going to be, tailored. It is. This is exactly right, Drake. I mean, I've been playing it since day one. It's so good. It looks fine to you, Bullets? Cesano says too many males. I mean, there is that other game, Space and Desire. That's literally all male with one female. So not all of them. Can it be played on GeForce Now? It can. It can be played on GeForce Now. It's how my son does my dailies when I'm not able to do them. Hey, look, at least he ain't spoilt for choice, right? He got options. Love and Deep Space, that's the one. That game is raking money, Drake. Love and Deep Space is making money. That game makes more money than Genshin Impact. I'm surprised. That game is raking the money. Them women are paying money. Like, that's crazy. I've seen the amount of, on Gacha revenue. I've seen that shit. That game is making like 500 million a month. These AAA companies would love to do that sort of money. Ice Pick, Microsoft had to bail them out mainly because they kind of bought them to close them, and then once the courts found out that Microsoft bought a controlling share to close them down, they had to. The court said, "Nah, you can't do that. You can't buy them just to close them," and they ordered and forced Microsoft to actually keep them alive and keep them sustainable, and then separate as a company. And Microsoft had to offload them later, so they remained a competitor. The courts actually stepped in. If they didn't, Apple would have shut down. It's an interesting read. If you ever have the time to watch, there's a couple of videos on YouTube. If you ever find the time to sit down and watch one, they're fairly long, like 45 minutes to an hour. But the whole way it all transpired It's so interesting. And, you know, Microsoft at the time they'd said, right, we didn't care. We want to just remove the competition. And so they did what all businesses were doing back in the day, buying to close. But the courts basically told Microsoft that you can't do that because you'd have a monopoly, and they stopped them. He's actually really good, Susano. Luke is a very good character. He's very powerful. It's a fact, yes. Mate, if I had money, you have no idea how much I would be wailing on this game. If I could, I would. I don't though, so I'm a responsible spender. I'm not gonna say how much I've actually spent on this game though, because it's terrifying. But that is over 2 years. But I also have like crazy amount of hours on this game played. But no, the story in this game, like I said, 1.0. Let me show you a trailer for this one. These are the next two characters coming. This is the Cyberpunk collaboration, Edge Runners collaboration that's about to land. That's the next character I'm going for, Lucilla. But let me show you a quick trailer. Actually, should I? There's a lot of spoilers. I'll probably be playing some over sometime on my other YouTube channel soon, because I've got all that set up as well now. That's the latest one. It's 12 minutes though. No, these are all like really big spoilers, man. Don't want to spoil none of that for you guys. I am going to watch the thing after though. Yeah, it comes out July. This is the official Xbox trailer for it, so I'll show you this one. This game is so good, man. That's Luke. And they update this so frequently. It's crazy how they update this so much. Oh, what was that? I only just caught that. All new content will be available. Oh, right. Okay. I thought you meant like specific content. I'm not showing it. What the fuck? Look, you guys could have told me that from the beginning instead of making me look stupid. Ghosty, I thought we had an agreement here. I caught on, all right. I know, I've seen Drake. I mean, they've done really well with this game. The story is phenomenal. It don't hurt me at all. I get to watch it again. It's a good trailer. It's all deliberate. Man, the actual cinematic here when it goes thing. Man, just look at it. That's your ultimate burst. That's crazy. There's Luke. There's Denya. Hyuki. All new content will be available. And it's coming July. This is a big get for Xbox in my opinion. Big. And I hope a lot of you enjoy it. Because this one's a really good game. This has got like AAA value factored in all over the place. For sure, I expect. Like it seems like they just get better and better and better. This one, yeah, it's available on PlayStation, PC, iOS, Android. You can start right now if you want to, and then once the game is released, you can link your Xbox tag onto it, and you can play it on your Xbox as well. It is, when it says play anywhere, this is true play anywhere. You can use your same save file, the same game across any device. PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile, cloud, anything. Says TBT. Oh, Ananta. We don't know much about Ananta, but the one that's coming out very shortly actually is NTE. NTE is landing, and some of you might actually be interested in this one if you like GTA. This is the launch trailer for it. This is very much like GTA. What the hell's that doing there? Okay. In terms of like structure, you've got a massive city and everything's evolved around this massive city. You'll be able to, run your own businesses. You'll be able to have your own apartments and everything. You can drive vehicles, motorbikes. You can ride bicycles. There's all forms of transport. It's absolutely wacky in nature. This one comes out very soon. I'm probably going to check this out when it launches. They're also giving you almost 500 pulls, which is insanely generous. And they've removed the gambling side of it as well for the most part. Which could be a double-edged sword. But there's no, apparently there's no 50-50 to this. You're just guaranteed the character after certain pulls. I don't know if that's still true, Drake. I'd much rather play this than GTA. This will be I reckon this will be a much better game than GTA 6. And you know what? It's probably going to make more money than GTA 6 as well. If it's successful. But yeah, man, these games make a lot of money. But the best thing about these games, the updates come so thick and fast, man. There's always an update every few weeks. Like, it's crazy how much they update these games. You're never stuck without content. It's just constantly evolving. That's why I like these sorts of games. You can literally play a few of these and just be happy if you like the game. You just can't play too many gachas because they can consume your time. And that's NTE. But this launch, it sucks because the update for this launches at the same time as Wuthering Waves, and they did that deliberately to try and combat it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But yeah, Wuthering Waves is July, I think they said, right? And NTE, God knows when. I know that's coming to, I think, PlayStation Day 1, but it'll probably be a year later before it gets to Xbox, like always. Which one is doing Twitch drops or both? Crimson Desert? Yeah, that's the thing, right? If a game is successful and you want more people to play it, you got to keep up with the updates. NTE's July 10th? Oh, really? Ah, it must be the... Wait, the 3.3 trailer dropped today. Tomorrow is the... Oh, today must have been the NTE trailer? Something like that. Because they were back to back. They were having their like live letter kind of thing. I hear 10. But yeah, so hopefully there'll be some cool stuff, man. Let me just see if there's anything else on the socials that is worth. People have already started saying that more games are going to come off Game Pass because the structure is not sustainable, and that narrative is just not going to go away, unfortunately. Which sucks. Let's see. I think that's generally the biggest thing right that people are saying right now. People are saying what I said. Have a Ultimate have everything, and the one tier below at $16.99 have the cheaper tier. That's pretty much the general consensus. And you got D-Batch now celebrating that Xbox is releasing a console after all of that noise that he made. I don't even think anyone should do... Man, that guy is such an idiot. Maybe he'll block me too, so I don't have to see his posts. Alright, that's really it. That's all I got for you guys today. So am I going live at 4:30 on Thursday, or am I going live at my normal time? Do you guys want to watch the Xbox ID live, or do you want to watch it later? I'm good to go live at 4:30, so that's not really any problem for me. It just means I have, you know, time off in the evening so I can do other stuff. Normal time? Fine. Well, I'm going to release the Game Pass video that I had set up that's going to go live shortly after this stream. The Jason Ronald one will be sometime tomorrow. And then I'm also going to have a channel update video. And nothing's really changing. It's just the Let's Plays are going to my other YouTube channel, and I'm going to be doing them there generally that aren't sponsored, which need to be on this channel. So I'm going to have that video going out as well. So hopefully you'll check those out and get all the information you need. If you're interested in, the Let's Play streams that I do, definitely look out for that channel update video, because all the information is going to be in there and in that description. I'm also going to post it in my Discord, so for those of you that want to join my Discord, link in the description below. If you haven't yet, I know it's a bit late, but leave a like on the stream, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the videos I've got coming. But otherwise, I will see you all on Thursday. Right, that's it. Unless I decide to stream Darwin Paradox tomorrow. That might be a thing. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, folks. That's it. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight. It's been amazing. And I'll see you next time. Don't worry, man. Game Pass is fine. The plan is the plan until it's not the plan. So, Game Pass will live until it's not living. Peace. Do you know what? I forgot to end the poll. I just ended it. What is the result? Okay, are you happy with Game Pass price and COD removal? 75% of you said yes. That is 60 votes. Nice. Cool beans. Alright, now I'm definitely out.